Hello, and welcome to the June 2013 edition of MPS Today. My name is Scott Cochran, MPS Social Studies Curriculum Specialist and host of the show. Today is everyone's favorite show of the year. We get to meet our international exchange students who are spending the year at Midland and Dow High School. This year we have students from Brazil, China, Paraguay, Germany, and Taiwan attending school here in Midland. As always, remember that you can watch MPS Today on your local cable channel 98 and on our YouTube website at www.youtube.com/user/Midland Public Schools. To start off today, we'll meet our international exchange students from Asia. From Taiwan and Midland High School, we'll meet Max Chang. From China, we have Kane Wu of Midland High School and Gao Zhongren of Dow High School. So Max, Kane, and Gao, welcome to the show. Now, why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about your home countries. Tell us about your home and maybe what do you miss about back home?
I miss about food.
Yeah.
That's all.
You miss food and that's it? Nothing about people? What about your friends and your family back home?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Not really.
Okay. So what when you go back home, what are you really looking forward to, Max, as far as your favorite meal that you've been waiting a year to have again?
I can't count it. Too many.
Too many? What's one or two of them?
Tofu.
What's that?
It's a tofu.
Oh, tofu?
Yeah. Okay.
So you're looking forward to that when you go home. Is your mom going to make you a nice meal like that when you get back?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. All right. Kane, how about for you?
I miss my parents for the most, and a friend in China, and I think that's it.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to? What do you think is going to happen the first week when you're back home that you've been looking forward to for a while now?
Probably just meet some friends. I haven't seen them for like the whole year.
Sure. That'll be fun to get back together with them again.
This is what about.
Now, where are you all from? Max, in Taiwan. Where are you from in Taiwan?
Taoyuan.
In Taiwan, okay. And you live in the city, don't you?
Yeah.
So
I'm in a big city.
Okay. And
I'm from Huai'an in Jiangsu province.
Okay. And how large is that?
It's not really big.
Okay. So would you say it's a similar size to Midland?
A little bit bigger.
A little bit bigger?
Yeah.
Okay. And Gao, how about you? What are you looking forward to when you get back home?
As they mentioned, for sure, my parents are going to cook me really big meals, for sure, and I'm going to meet lots of my friends. And I think that's probably it.
Now, if your mom came to you and said, you know, Gao, for this once in your life, you get to choose whatever meal you want, she'll make special for, maybe your dad will make special for you, what would that be?
Actually, I do have a favorite food, Chinese food, but actually I don't think they're capable of cooking that, so we might just go to a restaurant.
Okay, and what would you order at the restaurant?
That's kind of duck. It's called Peking duck.
Okay, so you're looking forward to that?
Yes, sure.
Now, where do you live in China?
Shanghai. It's a really big city.
So major city. So,
yes,
yeah.
It's quite different.
So are you looking forward to getting back to the hustle and bustle of a big city?
Yes, I think I'm ready.
Okay, good. Now, let's talk about school a little bit. You know, what is school like for each of you back at home, and how is that different than Midland High School or Dow High School that you've been experiencing? How about for you, Max?
Our school is big, and we don't have locker room. We don't have locker.
Okay.
Yeah, locker.
So you carry your books around all day, or?
No, we have a desk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So do you have all your classes in the same
room?
Classroom then?
Yes,
okay.
same classroom. Teacher go to our classroom, so that's a difference.
That is a difference. So you stay in the same room, but you'll have different teachers for different subjects that come through? Okay. And so do they have different things posted on the walls, like for your math or for your social studies?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a big difference. Kane, how about for you? How many classes a day do you have?
I probably have 8 classes,
okay.
I think. It's really long school day, and we stay in the same classroom. Teachers go to class. It's probably the same like Taiwan schools.
So if you have 8 classes, what would be a typical lineup of classes?
Chinese, math, and science, English. They are like the most important classes we have.
And what is your English class like? Is it vocabulary or reading and
grammar,
writing?
Grammar and vocabulary, I think.
Okay. And is it completely in English? Or do you have Chinese as well?
Chinese teacher explain it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long have you had English classes? I'm just curious. I mean,
7 years.
7
Over
years.
7 years.
So it starts at a pretty young age.
Yeah.
Late elementary, early middle school,
Yep.
in our age groups. Okay. Gao, how about for you?
I think the biggest difference I've experienced there is that the school spirit, because back in China we don't have this strong school spirit in our high school.
Okay.
We don't have we have school uniform, but we don't have like spirit wears.
Sure. And so if your experience is like we've heard from other international exchange students, you probably don't have school athletic teams and things like that, or do you? Or?
Not
We
really.
have like soccer team and basketball team, but we don't have a league to play in.
Oh, I see.
So we don't have as many games a year as like school teams here.
Sure. Now, I know some of you, or maybe all of you, have participated in some of those type of events that we're talking about. Max, I see you've got your Midland Chemic gear on right now. Did you play for any teams or participate in any clubs or anything this year?
No,
No?
I didn't enjoy any.
So what was your typical school day like here in Midland? You went to your classes and did your homework, and what other kind of things did you find to do here in town?
I hang out with my friend a lot and go to community center play basketball.
Okay.
Yeah, and we go fishing and we go to downtown for a walk.
Sure. Now, is fishing something you did back home as well, or?
Not really.
Not really. So that was a new thing for you.
Yeah, hunting is a new thing too.
What's
hunting.
that?
Hunting.
Oh, hunting as well.
Yeah, the
okay.
gun is not allowed in Asia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was a new experience for you. So
Yeah.
did you go to take a hunter safety class and learn how to
No,
use a gun?
I
or anything?
just see my friend hunting. I did not use the gun.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting. Kane, how about for you?
I'm in the school DECA club.
Okay.
It's a business marketing club. So we went to Grand Rapids for a state conference,
Sure.
and it's a great experience for me.
It is, and the DECA club achievements have been amazing over the years. It must have been a lot of fun to be a part
Yeah,
of
it's
that.
really fun.
What kind of things did you do within DECA?
I do entrepreneurship innovation plan.
Okay.
So I'm just developing some new kind of stuff and try to get like financial aid.
Sure. But did you enjoy that? Was it fun?
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah. Great. And Gao, how about you? What kind of things did you
For
do this
me,
year?
I played for the JV basketball team of Dao High. We had a pretty nice season. The record was 16-4. And I'm also in the math club, Pi Club.
Okay.
So we did some like math problem, preparing for a math competition there.
Yeah, I heard that went really well for you.
Yes, kind of.
Yeah, sure. Now, let's talk about basketball for a minute. Now, when we were talking earlier, I had a chance to talk a little. Max said that he's a better basketball player than you are. So I was just curious about your thoughts about that. Have you guys had a chance to play against each other yet?
No, we don't have it, but we can play.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
we
think
can
will.
play.
We will.
Yeah, you're gonna make sure. I want to make sure you get that worked out. Maybe we can bring a camera and tape.
Yeah, we will see.
All right, we'll leave it on the court. We'll find out before you go back home. So, tell us a little bit about your host families and what your life has been like here in Midland. What are maybe some things that you've done in Midland? You talked a little bit about hunting and fishing that you don't do back home, but who did you stay with and what was that like for you?
I stay with Mr. Church family,
Okay.
and they go to church a lot. So we go to church every Sunday,
Yeah.
and we have a lot of family time. Yeah, so we have fun with them.
Yeah, they're a nice family, aren't
Yeah, they are.
they? Kane, how about for you?
I stay with the Henchos, and they're really nice people. And my brother, Jonathan Hencho, is a really nice guy in Midland High School. And we're going to his baseball game in Connecticut Park after this.
Yeah, that'll be exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting.
So it's not too often that high school students get a chance to play in a major league ballpark, so that should be a great experience.
Yep.
I'm staying with the Altenbergs, and I think it's pretty different because they have like 2 kids at home, and we have another exchange students in our family. So I have actually 4 kids in a family, which is kind of different for me because in China I don't have any siblings. So basically, I'm just staying with my parents. So
that was a big adjustment. Did you enjoy living with a bunch of other young people?
Yes,
as well?
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, sure it can be, no doubt. Well, let's talk a little bit about communication. You know, communication changes so quickly these days. what with phones and computers and iPads and instant communication. What's it been like communicating with your families back home? What devices or software have you used to do that, and how often are you talking back home?
Facebook and Skype, and I do so once a month.
About once a month?
Yeah,
Okay.
not a lot. So.
Okay.
And I will use FaceTime to communicate with my parents.
Okay.
And I will use a QQ software. It's like a social network in China.
Sure.
To get in touch with my friends and other people.
So have you found it pretty easy to maintain those connections?
Yeah, it's really easy.
Yeah. That's good. And Gao?
And I also use Skype and QQ, as he mentioned, to talk to my parents. And we typically do video chatting once a week. And I also kind of chat with the other exchange students with my former classmates, who is in Arkansas on QQ. So.
Well, that sounds nice. Now let's talk a little bit about after high school. What are your plans for after you graduate?
I'm exchange student next year too, and I want to go to American college. So.
What are there any particular colleges that you're interested in, or programs that you're interested in?
Yeah, probably Western Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
I'm planning to go to American college after that, and I want to go to a University of Pennsylvania for business.
That's a wonderful business program there for sure. And a larger city, obviously, right?
Yes.
In Philadelphia there. So that'd be more towards, remind you a little bit more of home probably.
Yeah.
All right. And Gao, how about you?
Also, I'm planning on applying for American college this fall. And the few colleges I've been looking at one is U of M. And I know you're a big fan of
University of Michigan would be a wonderful place to attend. I went there. It's a great school.
And I'm also considering about University of Chicago, because they have wonderful econ programs.
They certainly do. So, and you can't go wrong with either one of those schools. Although Penn and Western would be fine too, of course.
Yeah.
And your University of Chicago would be more like your home life for you, probably too, more like Shanghai than other areas. So, well, Max, Kane, and Gao, thank you very much for visiting us today, and best of luck as you return home in the near future here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. Now, up next, we'll be visiting with our exchange students from Germany, so stick around for more MPS Today right after this message.
Can you consent with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now. No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. Planting seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic. To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall. And make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first thing that helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Welcome back to MPS Today. We're continuing to meet with our international exchange students for the 2012-13 school year. Here with us from Germany are Lisa Achelis and Henny Aden. Lisa and Henny, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Now, tell us a little bit about Germany and about your hometown. So where are you from in Germany?
Niedersachsen,
Okay.
that's a state. And I live 1 hour from Hanover. And Hanover is the capital city of Niedersachsen.
Okay.
Yeah, I live also around Hanover, only a half hour apart, but we live really close, like 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah.
And what's the name of your hometown?
Springer.
Okay. And Henny, how large would you say that is?
It's smaller than Midland.
Smaller than, so you live in a small town then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually live in a tiny village next to that, but
Okay.
yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's tiny. Yeah.
Sure. All right. And Lisa, how about you? How big is your hometown?
My hometown is really little. So I would like to say, I would say half of Midland. So it's really
Okay.
little.
Now, Hanover is a larger town, though, a larger
Yeah.
city nearby. So, all right. And then who do you live with back at home? You live with your parents or grandparents or?
At home in Germany?
Yeah.
I live with my two parents, and I have two sisters. My little sister is 13, and my biggest sister is 24. And she lives right here with me.
Oh, okay.
And yeah. And we have a dog named Amy.
All right, good.
I live with my mom and my twin sister, Mareike. Yeah, and I have also a dog.
So was it particularly hard being away from family members or friends this year, or did you feel like you quickly transitioned to life here in Midland?
I miss my friends really, really much, and my parents too, and my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to, Lisa, when you get back home, what are you really looking forward to doing or seeing? Or
Hanging out with my friends,
Yeah.
that's the important thing for me. And sit together on the table with my family, going out with friends and my dog.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Great. Henny, how about for you?
I'm not really homesick at all. I haven't been the whole year yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, for sure, I miss my friends and my family a little bit. But it's not like a sad missing. It's more like, well, I would like to hang out with them, but I know that I'm going to see them again. So I think it's going to be harder to go back home because I know that I won't see the most of the people I met here ever again. So.
That would be a different kind of goodbye, wouldn't it? So, now I'm sure there's some people wondering about being a twin. Has that been unique for you to be so far away from your twin this year? Or?
We're not
Identical?
Identical, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're not identical twins, so I guess it's more like we're siblings.
Okay.
So it's just like she's missing her sister.
Sure.
But
It would be similar to that then.
I mean, I think I'm just not a really person who gets homesick or is sad about missing someone.
Sure.
Because I mean, as far as I'm comfortable at a situation or place, I'm not sad. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense. So it sounds like you've been comfortable here then.
Yeah, I have.
So who are you living with while you're here in Midland?
I'm with Rotary Youth Exchange, so I have 3 host families over the year.
Okay.
So I lived with the Beamlanders, the Peelers, and now with the with the Brennemans.
Okay.
Sorry.
And all really nice families. So,
yeah, I'm really fortunate to have 3 really good host families.
Sure. So Lisa, how did it end up that your older sister ended up here in Midland?
She was 5 or 6 years ago an exchange student too in Alpena, and she came back after this year, but she would like to go to college, so now she's here in Midland and goes to Saginaw Village.
Okay, so she goes to Saginaw Valley State for college now?
Yeah.
Okay, good for her. Well, let's talk a little bit about school. That's a good transition. What is school like for you back in Germany? Good question. Is it the same as here in Midland?
No, it's not the same. We have a different school system, so it's really different. In Germany, the students have one classroom and the teacher must change the classroom.
Okay.
But here, the teacher have one classroom and the students must change.
Right.
So that's different. We have 2 lunch times.
Okay.
We don't have lockers.
Yeah, and we have 14 classes, but only 6 to 8 on a day.
Okay, and is that similar
every
for you
day
as well?
the schedule is different.
Yeah.
So is that?
Yeah, for me that's the same. We have like 3 different kinds of school.
Okay.
So like after, not skill level, but more like learning types kind of.
Okay.
So
So what would be
on
your
a different school and have a little more hours.
Interesting. So if you have 14 different classes, what would a typical schedule be like? Like on one day, would you go to 4 or 5 of them? Is that the idea?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. My school has a block system, so we have 2 hours, the same class, and then we have like 4 classes over the day, but like only like we have like in all 8 hours.
Okay.
So
you go to a couple of the same classes every day, and then the other ones rotate?
Because we have to carry our books, so that we don't have to carry 8 books every day.
That would be a lot.
Yeah.
What are the 2 classes that you have every day?
No, I mean,
okay.
You have a double, like a block system, so you
Okay.
have the same class, but for 2 hours, so it's
I see.
like always 2 hours from the same
So basically be like 4 classes in a day.
Yeah,
Okay.
but longer.
And what are some of the typical classes that you would take in a given school year?
You can't really choose.
You can't choose the classes.
I mean, you can choose languages, so I can choose between French and Latin or Spanish, and you can choose the religion class and art or drama, but.
So you have choices that way.
Yeah, but not
but then
a
your
lot.
core academics are probably set.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So in that way, it's kind of similar to what we have.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Kind of.
All right. It sounds like it's more different than it is the same. So how did you like coming to the? What was it like for you to transition to a system where you're going to 6 or 7 classes a day, and it's the same classes every day for 4 months? What was that like for you?
It was boring.
Yeah.
It was boring.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is really, really boring.
So you enjoyed the variety. You enjoyed the variety. You're used to the variety that you had.
Yeah. But it's the first time in my life that I can remember my schedule.
Yeah. Okay. So how did you keep track of your schedule if it changes every day?
I have like only in my planner a little list. So.
Okay.
With all the classes, and at the beginning the time, at the end the time. So.
Yeah.
Sure. Now, would you have a lot of homework as well? So if you finished a whole group of classes and then you have different classes the next day, are you doing work outside of school for all of them?
Yeah, but because every day the schedule is different.
Right.
So it's, I don't know, on Monday you have math, and then, for example, on Thursday. So you have a couple days to do your homework. But, I mean, it's the same kind of.
In the meantime, you're taking other classes as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It must be interesting.
But you have more time overall for your homework.
Sure. Well, when you're not at school, back at home, what do you like to do?
I hang out with my friends. I go out with my dog on the weekends. Yeah, we meet in the house with my friends and listen to music. We're talking a lot, or going out.
Sure.
So.
Henny, how about you?
I also hang out a lot with my friends. I fence with my best friend. I'm in Scouts, but Scout is different. We don't sell cookies.
You don't know no cookie sales?
No.
So what do you do in Scouts in Germany?
It's more like Boy Scouts, just with girls added, and it's more like camping, and I don't know. We are not the typical Scouts, I guess. There's some really strict Scouts who like learn how to do knots and always have to wear the uniform correctly. But we are more about fun and doing, I don't know, outdoor games. I would be considered a group leader now because I'm 16.
Okay.
So.
Sounds like something you're looking forward to getting back to.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned fencing. Now, is that something that you've done for a long time? or?
No, I just started, I think a quarter, 3.25 years before I went here.
Okay.
And yeah, I fence with my best friend in Hanover. But I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna continue doing that if I come back.
So is that something you've been able to continue here in Midland, or no?
No.
No. Okay.
But I did cross country, cheer, and tennis.
So you kept yourself pretty busy, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So how did you enjoy being a part of those different school teams and clubs?
I really liked it. I really love cross country because I really like running, and I really like the social part about cross country because you talk a lot and meet a lot of friends. That was also really easy for me to meet people before school started, so I would have some familiar faces in school and not like going into school and be like, hi, I'm the exchange student. No one knows me.
It's a good, being a part of those activities is a good way to get to know people.
I enjoyed cheer also a lot because we don't have it in Germany, so I kind of wanted to try it out.
Sure.
And it was a really interesting experience. It's a nice sport. And we have tennis too in Germany, but I've never played it. So I kind of try to do different sports to like learn new stuff on exchange.
Sure. And Lisa, how about for you? Outside of school, what kind of things have you been doing this school year?
I was involved in the girls swimming team, so we was often on competitions, and after school we had 2 hours practice every day, and it was really hard, but I love those girls. I had birthday last year and on Saturday, and the girls bring me a really big cake, and sing for me happy birthday.
That was so fun.
Yeah, it was fun, and yeah.
Now, that's a sport that takes a lot out of you, swimming. I mean, that's a tough practice and a tough meet.
And I love it.
Yeah, good. Now, is that something you did back home as well, or?
No.
So maybe you'll be able to continue swimming when you go back home, though.
Probably, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, good. The neat thing about some of these sports like swimming and tennis or running even are things that you can do for the rest of your life when you go back home too, so that's nice. What about food? I mean, people always want to know, how is the food different here than it is back home?
So in Germany, the food is awesome.
Yeah.
Here, you eat really, really much fast food.
That's true,
And
unfortunately.
by McDonald's or something like that, when you are hungry, you drive really fast to McDonald's by the drive-thru and eat there a hamburger or something like that. And in Germany, I eat only by McDonald's or by Burger King. Yeah, Burger King. When we are on the trip and we are really hungry, and when not, then my mother cook really well. So I love this food from my mother, and I miss it.
So what's a meal that you'd be looking forward to when you go back home?
Schnitzel.
Schnitzel, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And Henny, how about you?
Well, about the same.
Yeah.
I really miss the bread, like real German dense bread with nuts and stuff. And rolls in the morning. I always eat with my family on the weekends. Like you do pancakes, we eat rolls. And I kind of miss that, but I know that I'm going to go back to it. So.
Yeah, that'll be something to look forward to when you get back home. So I'm curious, how do you find time to make all these wonderful meals with everything else that's going on when you're back? That would be the American excuse, right? Is that we have to go to Taco Bell or McDonald's or somewhere else because we don't have time to make a good meal because we're always running from one thing to another. So I'm just curious, how do your families find the time?
My family is about, like, we are also busy, like you guys are, but my mom cooks sometimes in the morning before she goes to work. So she prepares a meal and we just warm it up. Or she does it on the weekend and cooks soup or something so you can easily warm it up. Or my sister and me cook when we come home from school because my mom comes home later in the day. So we kind of have to learn how to cook a little bit.
Sure.
Even though my sister is better than me.
Oh, I see.
I'm not really a cooking person, but she is. She's really good.
But if you were hard pressed, what would be the meal that you would cook if you had to make something?
My favorite is spaghetti with pesto.
Okay.
Or spätzle with cheese and ham. It's like, I did that for my whole family too. It's kind of like a potato pasta.
Yeah.
It's like little. Kind of looks like noodles, but
it would look almost like our fettuccine, what we would typically serve.
Yeah,
it's thicker, like a potato-based pasta.
Like,
yeah. Great. Sounds good. Well, let's talk a little bit about communicating back home. What kind of technology have you used to talk with your friends and family, and about how often do you think you're talking with folks back home?
With my friends, I used Facebook and we're texting, and with my family, I use Skype. With my friends too, but more with my family. Every Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Yeah. So that's your time. Sunday at 1, huh? Okay, good.
I also use Facebook a lot to talk to my friends, and Skype to talk to my closest friends and to my family. I normally don't have a time set. I don't know, if I'm online and my mom sees it, she's like, oh, Henny, you're on, let's Skype. Or if I see her online, I do the same, or we make up a time the day before. But normally I'm pretty busy and something comes between it, and I don't want her to wait in front of the computer until I go online. So normally we just do it when it happens.
The problem is the time difference. We are six hours back.
Right.
So
finding a time that works for everybody is always going to be hard. So, well, what about when you go back home and you graduate from school? What are your plans at that point?
I'm graduate from my school last year, so I'm done. But when I go back this summer, I go like to a little college, but it's not really a college like here. It's little, and you learn about a job. So I would like to learn about kind of a social worker. So learn the behavior of the children when the children have problems with the parents or something like that. So that's my plans for next year. Okay, good. Sounds good. How about for you, Henny? I would like to study medicine, but I already have everything planned out from plan A to plan B and plan C. I would like to do something in the field of science. So biology or chemistry would be fine too with me. Okay. So somewhere in the science field still.
All right, great. Sounds like you both have big plans waiting for you when you get back home.
That's true.
Well, Lisa and Henny, it was very nice to meet you. Thanks for taking the time to come and talk with us today.
Thank you for
You
having
bet.
us.
Of course, and we wish you the best of luck as you return home to Germany.
Thank you.
Well, up next, we'll meet with our international exchange students from South America, so stick around for more MPS Today right after this message.
Ever wonder what makes us, the Smurfs, so happy? The forest, of course! This is where we, along with the beautiful forest creatures, make our home with beautiful plant life, clean water, and endless adventures. It's a place to celebrate. So discover the forest with your family today. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back to MPS Today. In our final segment today, we'll meet with our international exchange students from South America, from Brazil and Paraguay. They're both at Dow High School this year. So we have Rafa Santos and Alejandra Mendoza. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's very nice to be here.
Yeah, well, it's great to have you guys both here. Now, you're both from South America. Alejandra, you're from Paraguay.
Paraguay.
And Rafa from Brazil.
Yes.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about your life back home. Who do you live with back home with your families?
I live just with my mom.
Okay.
Yes, we are just two people in the house.
Sure.
I have an older brother, but he's married, and I have a little niece. And that is part of my family. We're not a lot of people in my
Sure.
family.
How
So,
old is your niece?
4 years old.
Okay.
Yes.
So that must be a lot of fun. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But we don't live like really close.
Okay.
He lives in the capital that is 5 hours away.
Okay.
So, yes.
So you don't see him a lot.
Yes. Yes.
And where do you live in Paraguay?
In Ciudad del Este.
Okay.
It's called Ciudad del Este. It's next to Foz do Iguaçu, that is a city from Brazil.
Okay. And how large of a town would you say? It's bigger than Midland, smaller than Midland?
It's
or-
bigger than Milan.
Okay.
Our population is about 300,000 people
Okay,
there.
so it's a pretty good size.
Yes.
So that was
it's not
bi-
really big, but
Yeah.
it's enough.
It's big enough?
Yes.
And Rafa, how about you?
I live with my mom and my I would say 3 siblings. I have 2 sisters. One is 22 years old and the other one is 16. And I have a little brother, he's 9. My parents were separate when I was little, so my dad lives in another town, which is like 3 hours away from mine. But that's pretty much it. That's my home, and I live in Taquaritinga. It's a very small town in São Paulo. That's the state. And I'd say that we have more people than in Midland, but the size of Midland is probably bigger than ours. We have probably about 60,000 inhabitants. But in terms of size, Midland is probably bigger.
Okay. And where would you say is the closest large city to your hometown?
I would say that is probably São Paulo,
Okay.
which has like over
Well, it's huge.
millions.
Yeah, it's a very, very big
people, and it's like my city is 5 hours north from São Paulo, so
city. Okay. So that's a ways away.
yeah, a little bit away.
Yeah, sure. Now, you brought some things in from back home here. What did
Yes,
you,
I
what you bring
did.
in?
Okay, so this right here, it's called Havaianas.
Okay.
It's our very, very traditional flip-flops. A lot of people, I'd say great majority of us, we use these to go like into the beaches and stuff. So that's one of the artifacts that I brought. I just think that shows a little bit of us. We like to hang out on beaches, and we always go to the beaches to have fun and just swim and whatever. It's really fun. And I also brought my flag.
Yeah.
Here. Let me open it. It's pretty huge. There we go. Yes, that's our flag. And
So is that order in progress? Is that what it says?
yes,
on there?
order
Yeah.
in progress.
Okay.
So that's what I brought in.
Well, thank you. Now, you talked about spending time at the beach. Is that something you like to do a lot of when you're back home?
I like to do it, but I don't do it that often because I don't live in the coast.
Sure.
I live in the like really in the center of the country. So, but when I go and travel, I always stop by, and
Yeah.
I always have fun with that.
So let's talk a little bit about back home. What are you each looking forward to when you get home, whether it be a particular meal, or what are you looking forward to doing, or what's on your
with
list?
my friends and family.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Sure.
Yes.
And what would be your favorite meal if you were talking to your mom and said, I want to have this when I come home? What would that be?
We have a lot of typical foods. Actually we speak two languages. Our first language is Spanish, but we also speak Guarani.
Okay.
It's a really old language that most of the people can talk fluently, but all our traditional food or songs are called in Guarani.
Okay.
So it's kind of hard, but I will look for a meal that I like. It's called bori bori.
Okay.
It's pretty much a soup that is pretty good.
So what she said, you would use traditional songs or traditional foods. You could describe in Guarani.
In Guarani, yes.
Yeah. So can you give us a little bit of Guarani here, which whether it be a song or describe the food you were just talking about, the soup?
I can say a phrase in Guarani.
Sure.
Baisha pan de koe.
Baisha okopongde.
Baisha pan de koe.
Okay.
That means, how was your afternoon?
Bueno.
Yes.
Good. Well, that's great. So it's a traditional
language.
So.
Yes. It's kind of old, like you can hear in the farms, more in the farms, like
sure,
they
the
can, yes, but you are not gonna hear that in the city or something like that. We know a couple of phrases, but we don't really know.
So Spanish is more of the everyday language.
Yes.
But if you're talking about cultural ties, it's back to the
yes,
Guarani.
it's Guarani.
Yeah,
Yes.
great, interesting. And Rafa, how about for you? What are you looking forward to when you get home?
I'm really looking forward to go to college, but I'm also looking forward to see my family again and see my friends. I'm also looking forward to teach people about the U.S. because that's what I came to do, came to learn and teach when I get back. So yeah, but I think that the thing that I'm looking forward the most is going to college because I can't really wait to go to college.
That'll be exciting for you.
Yes.
Sure. Well, we'll come back to college in a little bit towards the end of the interview, but I'm curious, when you go home and your friends say, well, Rafa, what was it like to live in Midland? What was it like to live in the United States? What will you say?
I would have to spend a lot of time talking.
Yeah.
But to make it brief, I'd say that it was totally different, and it's something that if you can live, if you can have the opportunity to live, you can't let it pass by, because it's something that doesn't happen to all the people in the world. So if you have the chance to go somewhere and live this place to learn about it, you certainly have to go and do it because it's amazing. It makes you way open-minded. So I'd say
being exposed to different cultures is really a wonderful experience, isn't it? Well, let's talk a little bit about your schools back home. How is yours? We know the traditional school day here in Midland and in the United States in general for high school would be 5 or 6 or 7 classes that you rotate through, and you work your way through a 4-year plan for high school. What are your schools like back home? Are they same or different?
They are really different. Yeah. My school back home is way smaller than Tauhai.
Okay.
Yes, I used to go in a Catholic school.
Okay.
We used to wear uniforms, and it's really different because we don't switch classes. We stay in the same class the whole day. Just the teachers are coming.
So you have different teachers throughout the day that join you?
Yes, yes.
And how many different subjects would you say you cover in a day or in a week?
We don't have choices. Like it's just one schedule the whole year.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you in classes with people your same age then the whole time?
Yes, the whole time.
Okay.
With the same people every year.
And so it's the same group you've been going to school with for quite some time. And about how many people in your class?
I can say about 25 people.
And when you graduate, it'll just be those 25 people that are graduating with you. Okay. All right.
Yes.
And Rafa, how about for you? Is it a similar school experience for you?
It's quite different. It's probably about the same as in Paraguay. We don't switch classes. The teachers do so. So like we always stay in the same classroom with the same people throughout the 3 years of high school that we have. Talking about subjects is quite different too, because the government provides, the government actually sets the subjects that we have to take. So we don't have options, and we don't have we don't choose what we want to take. The government sets it, and we take it throughout the 3 years of high school. So they go like in upper levels of the subjects that we take. There are 11 different subjects that we take in high school, and they're split in a week pattern, so it's not like a day pattern. And in our classrooms, we usually had about 35 to 40 people, so it's quite different in here.
And about how many people is 35 to 40? Is that all the students in your school that are your age, or they're?
No, per classroom.
Per classroom. So how big is the school that you attend?
It's relatively smaller than Dow High. I'd say we had probably about 400 students in the whole high school.
Okay.
So it's really
Sure, it's a smaller school.
Yeah.
Now, when you're studying your different subjects, what about languages? What languages do you study?
In my school, the government sets English and Spanish throughout the 3 years of high school. When you're not in high school, when you're in the lower levels, you can take English, but that's it. You only start taking Spanish when you are in high school. And we always take it. We take it for the 3 years. It's not like a language that we pick to learn. We take these two, English and
So your Portuguese would be your everyday language, and then you're taking Spanish and English.
Yes.
Both. So, and by the time your students, a typical student would graduate from your school, would they be pretty fluent in English, do you think, or?
Not quite.
Not quite.
I'd say it's...
Because you speak very well. You both speak very well.
Thank you.
So.
I'd say it's quite hard to be fluent just learning at high school and not living in the place that this foreign language is spoken like all the time. However, if people really want to learn and get really better in this language, they usually do courses out of high school.
Sure.
So.
But immersion is a great way to do it. If you actually live and be around people that speak a particular language, it's probably the best way to learn. Right?
Exactly.
And how about for you, Alejandra? What are some of the languages that you've been learning in school?
It's kind of the same. We had to take English and Spanish, of course, but also Guarani.
Guarani as well.
Yes.
So that's great. It makes for a very rich experience probably to have those different.
Yes.
Along with languages, what about culture or history? You're studying the history of your native countries? Is history a class that you have a lot when you're in school?
Yes.
And is that Brazilian and history of Paraguay, or are you studying other countries or parts of the world? Or?
Actually, in my high school, we had world history, but there's like a part of the year that we cover our history pretty much, but we focus a lot in the world history.
And Alejandra, how about you?
Actually, it was more about Paraguay. We also study about the war, stuff like that, but it was more like our wars from Paraguay.
Sure, from the Paraguayan perspective. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about life here in Midland. What's it been like for you here? Who are you living with, and what kind of things have you done this year that are new to you?
Okay, I've been here for 4 months. Okay. I'm gonna switch families soon, but it's really different. So, this family, they are really cool.
Are you living with the Kendricks right now?
The Kendricks,
right?
yes.
Okay.
They're my host family.
Sure.
My host dad was an FBI.
Yeah.
He is a policeman. And my host mom she just take me everywhere.
Yeah.
She's just like a second mom for me.
Nice.
We had a really good relationship.
Great, I'm glad to hear that. That's very nice. And Rafa, how about you?
Right now I'm living with the Nigro family. I've been here for 9 months already. I have only 2 left.
Yeah.
It's quite sad, but I've had such a great experience, and I've learned so many things. I did so many things that I would never have the opportunity to do back home. For example, just like prom. When I went to prom here, I was so amazed to see everyone all dressed up and the dance itself, because back home we don't have dances at school. So it was a little thing that it was really different, and it made a lot of difference in my life because I learned a lot about it, and it has been great so far, and if I could do it again, I would definitely do it again.
What about outside of school activities? You mentioned prom. What are some other things that you've done outside of school in this last year?
I'm starting now with my equestrian team. I used
Okay.
to do that back home, and
Yeah.
now I'm so glad that I'm gonna do again this here. And also, I'm gonna try to the pom-pom team, cheerleading.
Okay, sure.
Yes.
Now, so we should have mentioned this before, but Alejandra, your schedule's a little bit different because you've been here for 4 months.
For 4 months,
and you'll be
yes.
here for basically for first semester next year as
Yeah,
well.
so I still have.
You're
a lot of-
halfway through right
Yes.
now. So
Yes.
so you've done the equestrian team. So you're
Yes.
doing your
I'm
horse
starting
riding.
right- right
now.
now, yes.
Okay. And then you're gonna try pom pom in the fall.
Yes.
So that'll be fun too.
Yes.
So great.
I'm really excited about that because we don't have that.
Sure, it's important to do different things.
Yes.
And Rafa, how about for you?
When I got here, the first thing I looked for was the soccer team.
Yeah.
And we played the fall season, and we won the Saginaw Valley tournament. So I did that in fall. And later in spring, I kind of did drama club. And I stayed until the Rain Fair event, but when they started practicing for the play, I had to drop out because it was affecting like my school things,
Sure.
and it was taking a huge time. So I did these 2 things with Dow High,
Great.
and I enjoyed it a lot.
I bet it was fun. Well, let's talk about communication back home. What do you use to talk with your folks back home? You know, either the phone or on the computer, and how often would you say you're talking with your families and friends?
So I talk with my family with Skyping, or most of the time with text with my mom, just texting or Skyping on weekends because I don't really have time during the week to Skype, but yes, it's just more like that.
Once a week with
Yes.
Skype. Okay, and how about for you, Rafa?
Skyping and texting by Facebook. I'd say that I Skype with my family once 2 weeks or once 3 weeks. Because I have this little policy in my head that if I'm living here, I'm not there. So if I have my body here, I have to have my mind here also. I can't be thinking about home. And also because I'm so close to leave, so I can't really spend time thinking about home because I'll be there soon. So yeah, most Skyping and messaging, Facebook, internet, pretty much.
Now, you talked before about college. What are your plans when you return back home?
Well, I have 2 different options, like really different options. I'm planning on applying to international business or either medicine, because I always loved medicine and I always wanted to save lives. But I also think that the international business is such a great thing, and it would give me a lot more better understanding of the world itself. So when I go home, I will apply to both of these subjects, and I'm looking forward to see which one I will get accepted.
Sure.
If I get accepted in both, then it's great.
Then you'd have to choose.
Yeah, so it will be a tough choice to make.
And Alejandra, how about for you? Now, are you done when you go back home with
Yes.
high school? Okay.
I'm a senior back
Sure.
home. I'm gonna try to study medicine because my mom is a doctor, so I grew up with that mind to be a doctor. So I'm gonna try.
Well, that's great. It's a
study,
great
yes.
goal. You both have lofty goals, so that's wonderful. So would you anticipate going to college in Brazil and in Paraguay?
I'm going to
You go
college
back
in
home.
Paraguay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was planning on coming back here, but I think that it's not an option anymore because it would be quite expensive. So
Yeah, I can imagine. It's expensive if you live here, and if you don't live here, with all the travel and everything
Yes.
else, it's got to be.
Yeah.
It's also
Even more so.
interesting to point out that about the high school here, I'm graduating here, and it's interesting because not for a lot of exchange students we kind of transfer the credits. I think that here in Midland, I'm gonna be one of the only ones that actually transfer the credits back home. So I'm graduating for Dow, and then when I get home, I'll just give my credits to my school, and I'll be done with high school in there. So I'll have like 6 months to wait until I can apply to college.
Because they're in the middle of the school year down there.
Yes,
in Brazil.
that would be in the middle of the school year
Okay.
when I go back.
Well, great. Well, that's an exciting thing that you'll be graduating from
Yes.
Dow High School. So, all right. Well, Rafa and Alejandra, it was wonderful to meet you. Thanks for taking the time to come visit with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, that's our show for today. Remember, you can watch the show on your local cable channel 98, and you can watch all of our programming on our YouTube site. That's www.youtube.com/user/Midland Public Schools. Have a great summer, and we'll see you next fall on MPS Today.